I spoke in depth to the Thalia Council last night regarding the worrying revelation that was made at the end of the battle for Tau Ceti yesterday. It turns out that they were as shocked as I was to realise that all this time our foes were human. In their defence, the Thalia do not share the same racial diversity that is found within our own species, so despite the similarities between our Oriental adversaries and myself, our physical differences, compounded by our different language and alphabet, made the Thalia believe that for all intents and purposes that they were indeed dealing with an entirely separate species, especially after I made direct contact with them and exchanged information. The Thalia were even more concerned when I explained to them that my people essentially belong to a multi-government planet, with several major factions composed of many different races, all struggling to be the dominant power in the Sol system. This made them worried that the hostile faction we just encountered, this People's Republic, or more like them, could be the dominant power on Earth. And to be honest, it's got me a little worried too. It's been over 46 years since I was last on Earth, and who knows what might have changed during that time. But I'll find out the answer to that soon enough, as I'm already in the process of making final preparations to leave Red Mountain Base and travel back to Earth on Volundr's Anvil, which is currently sitting in orbit above Sabiro. I've already repaired the Anvil using the wreckage from the enemy ships, and I've spent most of this morning ferrying both uranium and ice up to the Anvil using the aerospace fighter, so now I should have plenty of fuel for the trip back home. That landing pad was originally made for the Anvil, so the aerospace fighter looks a little small parked down there by itself. Right, I'll just go through the process of sealing up all these rooms and just make sure I've not left anything behind. I've left both the interior turrets and Gatling turrets well stocked with ammunition, so they should be okay whilst I'm gone. Once the refinery's finished, Ben will deactivate it, so the base will be operating on low power mode again, so hopefully between the solar panels and what's left of the uranium should keep it going for years to come. Besides, Councillor Zorak ensures me that the Thalia will be making occasional visits to this base, just to make sure everything is still okay. And it also means that if I ever do come back in the near future, everything should be just as I left it. Yep, everything looks fine up here. I guess it's time to go. It is kind of sad leaving this place, as it's sort of been my home for the last 6 months or so. And I know the surrounding area out there like the back of my hand now, but still, it'll be good to get back to where I don't need a spacesuit and oxygen tank just to walk around outside. And I know this place is in safe hands, as an instance of Benson will remain here to make sure that this place keeps on running for as long as possible. Isn't that right, Ben?
Affirmative, Commander. An instance of my main program shall remain here to ensure the continued operation of this facility.
Yeah, two Bensons living 12 light years apart. I wonder if they'll play chess with each other. Anyway, time to leave a message on this monitor here, just in case any other explorers or space engineers visit this place in the future. There we go. Basically, it's just explaining that anyone visiting can make themselves at home, but they need to look after everything and restock any resources they use up, and also not to piss off any Thalia that visit, as apparently they now consider Red Mountain Base to be a site of historic significance. Oh, and also to watch out for any meteor storms and wild saburoids out there. I know the chances of any human beings ever coming here is pretty slim, but I think it's a nice touch nonetheless. Right, I'll just take this extra uranium up to the ship and leave enough here to keep the base running. Well, I guess this is it. Time to say goodbye to the base and head out to the landing pad. I would like to think that I'll see this place again in the future, but who knows? Activating atmospheric engines, releasing magnetic clamps, and you know what? I think I'll fly around this base just one last time before I leave. It's incredible to think that not so long ago I arrived here on a hastily built mobile base with a dodgy elevator. I had no idea what was in store for me, or how far we would come. And there's that ancient Thalia crashed ship at 11 o'clock. I remember when we first came across that. I didn't know what to expect. But now it's time for us to leave them all behind, say goodbye to Red Mountain Base, and indeed Sabiro, and make our way back to Earth. It's good that we've departed in the middle of the day because it means we get to see everything properly one last time as we leave. And I feel better knowing that I'm leaving Tau Ceti in a better state than when I arrived. Coordinator Zonu performed a sweep of the system earlier and assures us that there is no trace of any People's Republic vessels or space stations remaining, so it looks like we got them all. But they are worried that more of them might come in the future, so they're going to rebuild their fleet to a level that will be better prepared to meet any alien aggressors in future. It's sad that they should have to do this, as they'd hoped their days of being a military power were behind them and that they would be able to continue their pursuit of enlightenment. But sadly, it would appear as though there are still those out there that would do them harm. It's just a damn shame that those seeking to do the harm turned out to be my fellow humans. I suppose I did have my suspicions when I saw the wreckage of those first two ships, but I had hoped that it was just mere coincidence and that these were aliens that had just somehow followed a similar technological path to us. But even back then there was just something too familiar about them. But what has been bothering me is why didn't they try to communicate with us, and why were they so openly hostile both towards the Thalia and myself? What on earth made them act in such a hostile and desperate manner? Well, I guess maybe we'll never know now, since their commanding officer decided he'd rather blow himself up along with his entire crew rather than surrender to us. And there weren't any survivors from any of the other ships, although Zonu says they did recover one crewman from the second escort vessel, but his suit was badly punctured during the battle and he died of his injuries before they were able to save him, which was unfortunate. I'm hoping I'll get some answers once I get back to Earth. What I am worried about is that there's been a shift in power during the time I've been away, and I come back to an Earth that's ruled by this People's Republic communist superstate. What I'll most likely do is get Benson to wake me up once we get to the outer edge of the Sol system, and I'll go to Earth via either Jupiter or Saturn. That way it'll give me time to assess the situation and absorb the changes that have occurred over the last 46 years. Speaking of which, Ben, how long will the journey back to the Sol system take us in Volundr's Anvil? That's if we reduce the amount of jumps to around 20 per day, which was the recommended safe limit you mentioned.
Commander, if the Volundr's Anvil is able to achieve 20 jumps per day, the journey back to the Sol system should take approximately 107 days and 14 hours.
Well, that's not too bad. That's just a little over 3 months. It's only a little longer than the original 2 months, but as you mentioned last night, with fewer jumps per day, it means there's less chance of a misjump or the jump drive malfunctioning and requiring emergency repairs. And given the fact I've already been out here for 46 years, I think I can wait an extra month, especially if it means arriving safely. Besides, I'll be in the cryopod fast asleep. I won't even notice.
That is correct, Commander.
Right, let me just do some calculations here. So it'll be just over 3 months and then we get back home. Which means that it will be around the middle of March 2078 when we get there. 2078. That means I'll be close to 100 years old. Not doing bad for my age, eh, Ben?
Curious, Commander. According to your own statement, even taking into account time dilation and the time spent in cryostasis, you should be in your early 50s. But all my sensor ratings and video observations indicates that you are a human male that is between 25 to 35 years of age.
It's a long story, Benson. Let's just say that I'm not the man I used to be, literally. Anyway, that's neither important nor relevant to our current situation. Right now we need to focus on getting back to the Anvil and making our way back home. Which means that I first have to safely land this aerospace fighter back on the rear deck of the Anvil and lock it in place with the landing gear. And trust me, it's a lot easier and safer doing this in microgravity. At least up here I don't have to worry about falling off the edge. There we are, that should do it. I'll just turn off the power and make sure this thing's locked down in the right place. Yeah, that looks perfect. I dare say I probably could have moved it a little further back, but I'm happy enough of where it is. Anyway, let's get inside the Anvil and prepare to get underway. I'll just offload this uranium into the cargo container here, and the conveyors will evenly distribute it among the Anvil's 6 nuclear reactors. The minimum fuel requirement that Ben recommended was 216 kilograms of uranium fuel, but it looks like we've got over 240 now, which should be more than enough to get us back to the Sol system. But before I leave on my epic journey back to Earth, there's just one little thing I need to do first. That's providing, of course, I still have the waypoint saved on the system. Ah, I do. Excellent. I mean, I put a lot of work into those 2 little ships, so I'll be damned if I'm leaving them behind. Besides, they've got sentimental value. I'm beginning to approach the 2 utility vessels now, so I'll get ready to slow down and hold position near them. I only have 1 connector port on the Anvil, and the aerospace fighter is already attached to the upper deck at the back, so what I'll probably do is dock the builder with the Anvil's connector and bring the grazer into the loading bay itself. Since it is the smaller of the 2 vessels, it should fit inside there quite easily. Okay, that should be close enough. I'll just turn off the waypoint marker as I don't really need that anymore. Now, if my memory serves me right, those suckers were both nuclear rather than battery powered, so I'll go out in a quick EVA first to check them out and see how much uranium I'll need to bring them both back online. And I might as well just open the cargo bay doors whilst I'm here. There's the grazer right in front of me there. And there's the builder. In fact, the builder looks slightly closer, so I may as well just retrieve that one first. Right, let's see what we've got. Oh, hang on a second, this thing has power. The master reset switch was flashing, but the ship came online as soon as I hit it. That means this ship still has some uranium fuel left. Which is pretty amazing considering I thought it would have run out weeks ago. In fact, let me check. Yeah, check this out, Ben. The builder still has over 14 kilograms of uranium left.
Yes, Commander. It appears as though the EMP pulse during the press beam's misjump has caused the builder to perform an emergency shutdown. It is a well-known safety feature.
Yeah, well, it can't be that well known, clever clogs, as I've never heard of it before now.
That is unfortunate, Commander. If you wish, I can make the user manuals for the modular ship types ready for you to review during the next free time you have available.
Ha, you cheeky bastard. Thanks for that, Ben, but that will not be necessary.
As you wish, Commander.
Okay, let's get this thing docked with the Anvil, then I can go and collect the grazer. I just have to remember that unlike the grazer, the connector on this ship is on the top. And it was always the most awkward of the two to actually dock. Thankfully, I won't need to use this thing again unless I need to make some extensive emergency repairs. There we go. I'll just make sure it's locked in place. And shut it down. Perfect. That's fine. The only problem is, for some reason, it's also shut down the Anvil, so I better find a control panel and turn the power back on. Damn it. There we go, sorted. Well, that was an unexpected technical glitch there, Ben. It wasn't supposed to do that.
Apologies, Commander. It appears as though the old software may have some compatibility issues with the newer designs using the failure technology.
So it would appear. And I'm guessing we'll have the same issues with the grazer as well, so it's a good thing it's going into the loading bay rather than being docked with another connector. And also like the builder, the grazer shut itself down too and has retained almost all of its uranium fuel rods. Nice. One of the MFDs has frozen, but that's not a serious problem. Anyway, let's take this thing back to the Anvil and land it in the loading bay. You know, this is the very first ship I built since we left on our expedition, and I thought it had been lost when the Pristinium crashed, so it's good to have it back again. Taking it back to Earth with me just feels like the right thing to do. Besides, who knows, I may even need to use it to go mining again once we get back to the Sol system. Now, I could try reversing it into the loading bay, but it's been a long day and I don't feel like pushing my luck. Besides, I've still got a headache from that Thalia pan-immunity vaccine I was given before the battle. Ben assures me it's perfectly safe, and it was just a precaution since I mentioned one of the Sabiroids punctured my suit with its claws a while back. Apparently, if I'd actually been bitten, I'd have been in real trouble. There we go, that's the grazer locked in place and shut down. And best of all, I've got plenty of space to squeeze past. Excellent. Right, let's close these bay doors and get the ship pressurized again. Cool. Okay Ben, let's add all the waypoints from the nav planner into the ship's navigational computer, starting with an initial jump to the edge of the Tau Ceti system. I'll stay awake for the first one just to make sure that the jump drive is working correctly, especially after all those repairs we did earlier.
Acknowledged, Commander. All waypoints have been added into the ship's navigational computer. Estimated time until arrival at the Sol system is 107 days and 14 hours.
Excellent. Thanks Ben. Right, let's see what we've got. All nav points are set. Reactors are all looking good. Temperatures are fine. Plenty of fuel. No faults detected in the rest of the systems, and everything else checks out. I guess we're about ready to leave. Well, I suppose it's time to say goodbye. This is Commander Robertson to Councillor Zorak. I am about to leave on the long journey back to my homeworld. I would like to thank you and all the Thalia for your invaluable assistance and the friendship that you've shown me during my stay here. And I'm glad I was able to help you defend against those that would seek you harm. I wish you all the very best and look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Farewell, Robertson, Commander. Though we fear that a great challenge may lie in front of you, know that you will always be a friend of the Thalia, and that you will always be welcome on Shaliasma. Safe journeys, Robertson, Commander, and may the great creators watch over you, always.
I thank you once again, Councillor Zorak, and may the great creators watch over you too. Robertson, out. Okay, Benson, let's do this. Is the jump drive ready for the initial jump to the edge of the Tau Ceti system?
Yes, Commander. The jump drive is fully charged and is ready to be engaged on your orders.
Excellent, thanks Benson. I'll just quickly check things over first, then I'll activate the jump drive manually. There's no need for any verbosity or an audible countdown though, just a readout on my HUD will suffice, I think.
As you wish, Commander.
Okay, here we go. Initiating jump to the edge of the Tau Ceti system on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. Well, that was impressive. And it felt smoother than the old jump drive that we had on the Prestinium. Benson, what's our status?
Commander, I can confirm that we have successfully jumped to the designated waypoint at the edge of the Tau Ceti star system. All systems on board the Volundr's Anvil are operating within optimum levels, and the jump drive itself should be fully recharged within 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's perfect. Thanks, Ben. Unfortunately, there's a big difference between travelling to the edge of a star system and the massive distances involved between the individual stars themselves. By limiting the Anvil to just 20 jumps per day, it's hoped that we'll limit the stress to the ship and its systems, and hopefully be able to reach Earth safely. Anyway, I need to put the ship into low power mode, and that means turning off this gravity generator here and killing these lights. I need to save as much energy as I can for this long journey back. Thankfully, these boots are magnetic, so I can walk around on the ship and not have to float around using my jetpack, like I did back on the Icarus. The Icarus. Man, that feels like a lifetime ago now. The last time I saw the Earth was shortly after our expedition started. I wonder how much has changed since then. Anyway, I guess I'll find out soon enough. Okay, Benson, I'm about to enter cryostasis. Please proceed with your instructions and continue using the jump drive until we reach the edge of the Sol system. Revive me once we arrive. Good luck, old friend.
Acknowledged, Commander. Sleep well. I look forward to seeing you again once we reach the Sol system.
Likewise. Good night, Ben.
Having fun, Commander?
Oh, I'm having an absolute blast, Mina. I'll say this, we're lucky that damn supply drone didn't take out the entire SPA. I've almost got it all fixed, but I'll be seeing this welding torch in my sleep now. Another perk with working out here is that I get to have a good look at the Earth one last time, before we leave it behind and it shrinks away among the stars.
Well, unlike some of us, at least you've not had to do the same boring shit for the last 6 hours.
No arguments there, but those checks are important as we don't want anything going wrong later on our voyage. Well, the windows and blast doors in the front corridor look fine. The rest of the solar panels are good. And the power's been reconnected back to the strobe light again, so it's blinking away happily now. It's weird. My partner's been gone for years now, and even though her and I had talked about it, we never had any children, so even though I don't really have anything left on Earth to go back to, apart from a sibling who's grown up with grandkids of his own, it's still sad to see it all fade away into space, knowing that the next time we'll be back, more than 32 years will have passed. Everyone I've ever known will most likely be gone. Or very, very old. I still can't get over how beautiful the Earth looks, though, especially from way out here. Anyway, I'm getting sentimental. The rescue ship's mounting looks alright as well, so that's good.
Look behind you, Commander.
Hey, Mina! Admiring my handiwork, eh? Oh, that reminds me. I've been toying with the idea of recording our mission to Proxima Centauri on my suit's microphone and helmet-mounted camera, mainly for the benefit of the folks back home. You know, for when we eventually get back, that is. Would you be okay with that?
Sure. Just don't get too close to me with that camera. It shows the wrinkles.
Oh, come on, Mina, they're not that bad. Besides, I'm sure no one will notice. Anyway, I'm just finishing off out here and will be in soon, so just make sure the airlock is clear for me to get back in. Dr. Takahashi left one of his bags lying against the door last time, and it made the damn thing stick and only open halfway.
Understood. I'll see you inside shortly.
Copy that. Robertson out. Well, goodbye, Earth, and everyone down there. I hope you guys take care of the place while we're gone.
Commander, please. I need your help with the navigation systems. I no understand them. They making no sense.
That's because you're not a pilot. That's my job. Acknowledged, Cho. I'm making my way back in now. Just don't touch anything until I get there. Robertson out. Something tells me that this is going to be an interesting expedition.
Welcome back, Commander. Your vital signs are stable, and you are showing no ill effects from your time in cryostasis.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. I'm actually feeling okay this time around. Well, apart from having a weird dream about something that happened in the past, that is. What's our status? Are we back yet?
I can confirm that we have successfully arrived in the outer regions of the Sol system. We are
We made it.
approximately 50 astronomical units away from Earth, which is only 2 jumps away from our current location. I am also pleased to report that all systems are still functioning within optimal levels, and no damage was received during the transit between Tau Ceti and the Sol system.
Thanks, Ben. That's great news. And it still looks as though we've got a decent amount of fuel left over as well. In fact, what I'll do right now is just check to see exactly how much uranium fuel we've got left. That's actually pretty good. It looks like we've still got at least 20 kilograms of uranium in each of those 6 reactors. That should be more than enough to get us back to Earth. Speaking of which, Benson, when you performed your initial in-system scan, did you manage to get a list of the available nav beacons?
Yes, Commander. You can find them all stored in the ship's database.
Thanks, Ben. I'm just checking them now. It looks like the majority of them are listed as being off limits to unauthorized shipping. No idea as to why, though, but I have identified and added 2 nav points that can allow us to get back to Earth in 2 jumps. Jupiter nav point 1 and then the Moon, which seems to be the closest it's letting me get to the Earth. But that should be fine. What does have me puzzled is the lack of thermal signatures around Earth. Most of them seem to be around Mars and the asteroid belt. Maybe there's space traffic restrictions in place on Earth now. Anyway, let's get underway, jumping to Jupiter nav point 1. Ah, there it is, Jupiter. At least now I feel like I'm getting closer to home.
Caution, Commander. I have just detected a distress signal coming from a nearby commercial vessel.
A distress signal. Copy that, Ben. Put it through.
Mayday! This is Captain Forrester of the Iron Diesel transport vessel Malafar. We have come under attack from space pirates in the vicinity of Nav Beacon 1 and request immediate assistance. Over.
I'm only detecting that one allied ship 7 kilometers away, so I'm guessing that's him. Transport ship Malafar, this is the ISS Volundr's Anvil. Message received. We're on our way to provide assistance and should be with you momentarily. Over.
Copy that, Volundr's Anvil. Please hurry. We can't take much more of this.
He's right. I'm seeing multiple fires on the Malafar. He's taken quite a beating.
Warning, Commander Robertson. The hostile vessels have broken off their attack on the civilian vessel and are now on an intercept course to us.
Copy that, Ben. I see them. Well, I guess it's about time we got ready to welcome our new friends. Going to red alert and sounding general quarters. There appears to be 4 of them, and from what I'm seeing they're not very big, so the chances are they're either small one-man fighters or drones. Whatever they are, they're about to find out the hard way that unlike the Malafar, we're more than capable of defending ourselves. Alright, let's do this. I'm not seeing any rockets or missiles, which suggests they're only armed with Gatling guns. Compared to my last battle, this could be a very one-sided fight. Especially as it appears as though I've destroyed one of them already. What I am concerned about is that if these are small fighters or drones, where the hell is their carrier? Maybe it jumped out earlier, or else it might just be sitting cold, just outside our sensor range and no more. Anyway, that's not important at the moment. Right now I need to deal with these fighters. I'll deal with the carrier if and when it makes an appearance. These pirates have bitten off a little more than they can chew. They're barely making a dent in my shields.
Commander, it appears as though the hostile vessels have broken off their attack and are trying to disengage.
Agreed, Ben. It certainly looks that way. But if we let the rest of them leave, then they'll just end up being repaired and used in another attack. No, I think we'll finish off these bastards, just so that they realise that there's deadly consequences for attacking civilian shipping. It's actually times like these where I'm grateful that the Anvil has such decent acceleration. It makes catching up with things like these so much easier. Excellent. Now there's only one of them left. I wonder if these Spur-class vessels are similar to the Dyad and Barb drones I fought against in Alpha Centauri. The pirates seem to be fond of short 4-letter names for their craft, although I can think of a few 4-letter words to call them. Yeah, that thing's not really what I'd consider a threat anymore.
Caution, Commander. Particle beam turret number 2 has malfunctioned and is not responding to input from the fire control computer.
Ah, damn it. Copy that, Ben. Reduce its power to minimum just in case it reacquires. I'll shut it down after we deal with this last pirate.
As you wish, Commander.
Yeah, the damn thing's just firing away into deep space. Wonderful. Well, as long as it's not targeting my own ship, I'll just leave it, just in case it does reacquire target lock back on the pirate ship again. Hopefully after one more attack run, this pirate ship should be destroyed, then we can head back and check on the Malafar. although it seems that my automated defences appear to be targeting something completely random. Well, at least they're shooting at the correct target this time. And he's gone. Excellent. All targets neutralised. Okay, let's head back to the Malafar. In the meantime, there's still no sign of that pirate carrier. Benson, are there any other vessels in the vicinity besides our own ship and the Malafar?
Negative, Commander. I am detecting no other vessels on our short-range sensors.
Acknowledged. Thanks, Ben. Still doesn't mean they're not out there somewhere, so we'll have to stay alert. If they've got any sense, they won't risk bringing their carrier into a toe-to-toe fight with a ship like this, especially now that they've lost a few fighters already. Anyway, let's get back to the Malafar and switch this damn turret off. There's the Malafar up ahead. There's still no sign of any other pirate ships, so we should be okay for now. Let's take a look at the damage to it. Yeah, the hull's taken a bit of a beating, and it's lost several thrusters due to battle damage. I'll check in with their captain and see if he needs any help. To the captain of the IMDC cargo transporter Malafar, this is Commander Robertson of the Volundr's Anvil. All hostile vessels have been neutralised. It looks like you've taken some damage. Do you require any assistance with your repairs? Over.
Negative, Anvil. We're about to jump out of the vicinity before more pirates appear. Our own repair teams will take care of any damage. Thank you for your assistance and safe travels. Malafar out.
Fair enough. They were probably involved in something dodgy out here anyway. Right, let's jump to the nearest station, which should be Ganymede Orbital. I want to see what's going on out here and assess the political situation first before we get to Earth. Right, let's see if we can find this place. It's been 46 years, and something tells me it's probably not a deep space science outpost anymore. In fact, Ganymede is the largest of Jupiter's moons, which means we should still be able to see Jupiter from here. If I can find it, that is. Come on, Robertson. How hard can it be to find a gas giant? Aha, there it is. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's get back on track. I need to dock with Ganymede Orbital and, get in touch with the people on board and see what's changed in 46 years. And what has changed is the fact that Ganymede Orbital has grown quite a bit since the last time I saw it. That's interesting. It looks as though there's another vessel docked to it as well, and whatever it is, it's big. There's actually several vessels docked at that facility, both large and small. I hope they've got enough space for the Anvil. Okay, let's open a channel to them. Volundr's Anvil to Ganymede Orbital, this is Commander Robertson. I'm the former pilot and commander of the Takahashi Industries deep space research vessel Icarus. After 46 years and much hard work, I'm finally back, so crack open a bottle of your best champagne because, hell knows I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah, I'm also requesting permission to dock, over. I say again, this is Commander Robertson of the Volundr's Anvil to Ganymede Orbital, requesting permission to dock, over. Are we transmitting on the right frequency?
Danger. Danger, Commander Robertson. We've just been flagged as a hostile vessel by the ACI Maelstrom and Ganymede Orbital.
Oh shit.
Weapons lock detected.
Volundr's Anvil, this is the ACI destroyer Maelstrom. Commander, you are ordered to power down immediately and prepare to be boarded. Any attempt to resist or flee will be met with deadly force. Do you understand?
What the hell are these guys playing at? Is this some sort of joke? I certainly don't recognize the ACI's authority to attack or board this vessel. Screw this. Let's get out of here. Setting a course for Earth's moon and preparing to jump. I have no idea what's going on out here or who these IMDC or ACI corporations are, but as soon as I get back, I'm reporting them to the authorities. There's no way the UN would let them have so much power out here. Or at least I hope they wouldn't. Anyway, let's get out of here. Earth, here we come. Oh, that's just great, Benson. It looks like we've ended up at the wrong nav beacon.
Commander, this is the correct nav beacon. We are in the vicinity of Earth and its moon.
What? No, that can't be right. This has to be a mistake, Benson. This is Mars or Venus or somewhere.
Negative, Commander. The planet in front of us is Earth, but I am detecting severe volcanic activity and high levels of dust and radioactive particles in the atmosphere.
No, that's not possible.
I am sorry, Commander. I am not detecting any signs of life on the planet's surface.
No. How can this be?